Hello, my dear friends! Welcome to Magic Inclined. This is your host, Rohini Murati, and today I am so honored and humbled and excited to sit with the amazing George Lizos. So George is a spiritual teacher and intuitive healer passionate about helping light workers follow their purpose of creating positive change in the world. We all need that. He is the #1 best-selling author of Lightworkers Gotta Work and Be the Guru, creator of Intuition Mastery School, and host of the Lit Up Lightworker podcast. George is so amazing, so magical, and just a delight to talk with. So without further ado, let's go. Thanks so much for being on the show, George. Would you mind telling us a little bit about yourself and how you came to do the amazing work that you do?
Of course. Thank you so much for having me, and I'm so excited to be here. So essentially, the way I describe what I do, I'm a spiritual teacher and psychic healer, and my purpose is to help light workers to find, follow, and fulfill their life purpose. I do so by helping them find their life purpose and define it, and also follow it by leveraging manifestation tools, but also by learning to protect our energy, because I believe, and this is something that I talk about in my newest book, Protect Your Light, I believe that energy protection is the art of being energetically authentic. And when our energy is authentic, we can more easily tune into our soul to receive our purpose, as well as the guidance that we need to follow and fulfill it. And the way this all started with me, it all started here in Cyprus, a little island in the Mediterranean. Growing up in Cyprus, I was just different from other kids my age. I was that weird kind of kid that just stared up at the sky, wondering, why am I here? And what is the purpose of life? So from a very young age, I had this sense of I need to change myself to fit into other people's expectations of me. So I started just molding myself to satisfy other people's beliefs and other people's stereotypes. So fast forward to the age of 13 years old, which was when I realized that I was gay. There was no way I could accept that label, because at the same time, gay people in Cyprus were considered to be pedophiles and criminals, and not a label I wanted to take on. So that's when I entered the 2 most debilitating years of my life, whereas day after day, I would monitor the way I would feel, the way I think, the way I walked, the way I talked, trying to turn me from gay to straight. And when I couldn't change who I was born to be, I reached a very low psychological point, and I decided to, you know what? I'm a human abomination. What's the point of existing? I decided to take my own life. And it was in that darkest moment in my life that I saw the light. I saw a solution that was always available to me, but I couldn't see it because I was resisting it. And that solution was stop caring what other people think about you. Stop caring what society, what the church, what your family thinks about you, and just learn to love and accept yourself exactly as you are. I didn't know how I was supposed to do that, because all I knew was self-loathing and bullying, but I knew I was willing to do so. And when you're willing to change, the universe comes up and supports you. So the universe led me down a spiritual path where I learned to take control of my energy, to learn to protect my energy, to learn to find all the wisdom that I needed within me. And here we are years later. Energy protection is a powerful way that we can use to get control of our energy, maintain our energetic authenticity, so that we're not influenced by what other people believe about us, by other people's beliefs and thoughts and emotions, but we know that what we think, what we feel, what we say is coming directly from our own soul.
Wow. What an amazing story, and how beautiful that you, after you taught yourself all these modalities and how to love yourself, that you're now teaching others to do the same. I mean, what has your experience been with that? Does that bring in more healing for you?
Absolutely. So my first book, Be the Guru, was essentially my journey to learning to find all the wisdom that I needed within me. Because I feel even in the spiritual community, we tend to be codependent a little bit on the books we read, on the teachers we follow, and like we feel like they are our fix. I found myself after like going through my spiritual awakening and learning all these modalities, depending on spiritual teachers and books for support. And I'm like, why don't I write a book that's all about not needing too many books and just learning to do the work and then moving on by yourself. So I wrote my first book, Be the Guru, which was all about that. And it's my number one purpose in life is to empower light workers to find and follow their life purpose for the purpose of being in control of their own lives, for the purpose of knowing how to tune in and receive the guidance, which I know is something you do as well. How to tune and receive the guidance so that you don't have to depend on other people, on other energies, and you are fully within your own energy. And as I empower other people to do that, I feel empowered as well because I'm fulfilling part of my purpose too.
Wow, that's so beautiful. I'm so excited. And your new book sounds so amazing. So, what is energy protection? Would you mind telling us a little bit?
Yes, of course. So the way I define energy protection in Protect Your Life is that energy protection is the art of being energetically authentic. It's about ensuring that what's ours is ours and what's theirs is theirs. It's about ensuring that we have strong boundaries between us and the outside world so that we choose what kind of energies are interfering with our kind of energy. It's about ensuring that what we think, what we feel, and the way we behave comes directly from our inner being and not from other people's inner beings, or worse, other people's egos.
Oh, totally.
So when we learn to do that, we're able to channel our own wisdom and more accurately follow our dreams and passions and purpose.
Absolutely, because our thoughts are the creators of our manifestations, right? So if we can get in between the effect before the thought, it's a very powerful thing to do. That's amazing. I'm so excited to read your book. So how has energy protection helped you recently?
I use energy protection practices on a daily basis. And this is something that I teach in the book, that we all need to have a daily energy protection practice. Sometimes people tell me, isn't the belief of energy protection like feeding fear and this sense of duality and separation from other people? And I'm like, it depends on the perspective that you have. So there are two schools of thought. One school of thought is like, you don't need energy protection, just accept oneness and alignment, and that's protection. The other school of thought says you need to protect yourself daily. So I believe both schools of thought are correct and can merge together, and here's how. When we're fully in alignment with who we really are, that's our biggest protection. We cannot be attacked because our alignment to source is our protection, and we experience this oneness. So one cannot attach one because we're all part of it. However, who can say that they can be connected to source 24/7? I mean, we're human beings.
Yeah.
Shit happens. There will come a moment where we feel frazzled, where we feel like angry, where we feel disconnected. It is in those moments that we need to employ energy protection tools to bring ourselves back home. So if you think about it from this perspective, energy protection is about bringing yourself back to alignment and using different tools that you can use to do so. That's why I use energy protection on a daily basis. And in the book, I detail a 7-step process of protecting your energy. It doesn't take that long, by the way. It can be summarized in 3 steps, which I will want to share with everyone. It's identify, clear, and shield. Identify means tuning in to identify what are the current energy attachments cluttering the energy field. Clear is using practices to clear them. And then step number 3 is shield. Then you shield yourself to protect yourself from further energy attachments.
Yeah, I love that. Oh my goodness. What powerful work. So speaking of like the daily practice, like, is it a necessary thing to do? Is protection a necessary thing?
So the way I see it, energy protection is like any other type of protection. We set strong passwords on social media and our computer, 2-factor authentication to ensure we don't get hacked. We put on something warm when we go out and it's cold. We get an umbrella if it's raining. From the same perspective, I mean, if you're going to spend a whole day at home, unless you're scrolling through social media, because something I'm very passionate about teaching in the book is digital energy protection, because the digital world is a reflection of the physical world as well. So unless you're at home, not scrolling through anything and just spending time with yourself, you don't need to protect yourself. But then depending on where you go, you need to dress up differently, right? So you need to dress up with a different energetic outfit. Ooh, first time I'm using this term. I like it.
I love it.
So you need different energetic outfits.
So good.
For different circumstances. So right after from here, I'm going to go to the movies. Okay. I'm going to be surrounded by many people. I need a different outfit that I would wear if I were going to go to bed and put on my pajamas, for example. So I will put on a stronger energetic shield to protect myself. And in the book, I talk about 3 different types of shields. The repelling shields, amplifying shields, and transmuting shields. I feel everybody's talking about, shield yourself with white light. White light, white light, white light, white light. Yes, white light is powerful, and I explain why in the book. But there are other shields we can use that work for different circumstances as well. Makes sense, right?
It makes so much sense. I'm just falling in love with every word too. I'm like, yes. Because, okay, so what about those people who are out there who are like, well, we're all one and everything comes from the same energy. Like, does this mean that it's a fear-based practice to do this?
It's not. We're still all one. But there are times when our ego takes over. Yeah. And when the ego takes over, the ego believes in separation. So what are you going to do when you're in an ego-based situation and you can't meditate in the moment to bring yourself back to oneness? What are you going to do? Just let yourself be like eaten by the wolves? No. You're going to open your spiritual toolkit, pull out different processes from the book and use them to bring yourself back to alignment. Use them to bring yourself back to shift, to bounce from the ego back to your inner being. And then once you've done so and you've reclaimed your sense of connectedness, then you don't need any more energy protection tools. Do you see the balance between the two?
Absolutely. That makes a lot of sense to me. So why light workers? Why would they need this more than anything?
Yes. So light workers, let's define our terms. So in my second book, Light Workers Gotta Work, I talk about light workers being anyone who makes a conscious choice of making the world a better place by being in it. This is how actually Rebecca Campbell defines the light worker in her book, Light is a New Black. Now, I took it a step further by coining the term ascension light workers. Ascension light workers are souls, mature souls, who have been incarnating on the planet over and over again for the purpose of updating the Earth's energetic software, of raising the vibration of the planet, of ascending the world. So ascension light workers tend to have a collective purpose of making the world a more peaceful, a better place. So because our purpose is so important, because we're literally here on a mission to create global change in the world, then it's extra important for us to protect our energy. Yes, it's important for everyone to do so, but especially for us. And also because we're sensitive empaths, because we can feel other people's energy more easily. So to be able to do this work and be connected and be able to feel and support others, because we're all teachers, to support others and help others, we need to ensure that we're in control of our energy and our energy dominates. Because let's say, for example, we both like do sessions with people. Let's say, for example, a client comes on sharing all their traumas. If we're totally open and we're receiving everything, that may lower vibrational frequency and prevent us from supporting other people. So how do we find the balance between being empathetic, supporting, but at the same time knowing where the energetic boundary is between this is your emotions, your stuff, and these are my emotions and my stuff. Energy protection is this boundary.
I love it. I mean, this is so helpful for people who've been practicing for years and also beginning, because the first year that I started practicing and started meeting with other people, I felt so drained. I felt like I had to take 2 days to recover just from like one reading, because I didn't understand that boundary before energies. And I feel like a lot of people don't. It's not, you know. Yeah.
Oh, and so many readers and healers need to learn those skills so they can manage their energy. For me, for example, and that's something I talk about in the book. I work with cords a lot, energetic cords. Like we all have connections with people in different ways. So when I do my sessions, I establish consciously energetic cords between my third eye chakra to there and from my heart chakra to their heart chakra. And then at the end of the session, I make sure to cut the cords. So I'm telling myself like with intention and symbolically that I'm severing this connection, I'm disconnecting so they can move on and I can move on as well.
I love it. If only we all knew this in the beginning.
Yes, right.
Yeah. Sheesh. Well, okay. So I also want to ask you about like energy attachments and like, are there good ones, bad ones? Are there toxic ones? And how does that work for you?
Great question.
Yeah.
So basically in Protect Your Light, I detail all the different types of energy attachments that we can catch. Now, to understand how this works, we all have an energetic field that is, and I call this in the book, the energy immune system, that is made up of the chakra system and our auric system. We have like 7 different layers in our aura. We have more, but the main ones are like 7 different layers. So our energetic field can both send and receive energy. So as we go through life, we'll leave energetic imprints of whatever we're feeling and thinking in the surrounding world and to other people. And vice versa, we catch energetic attachments from other people and the surrounding world, both online and offline. So there are many different types of energetic attachments that I talk about in the book, and I go into great detail. But the main ones that I want to share here are energy daggers of attack and jealousy that other people send to us, collective thought forms, which is a collective vibration of different fears and limiting beliefs we can hook into, and they keep on feeding us with the energy of that fear and limiting belief. We have toxic cords of attachment that we have to people, to places, to objects, to events, to past lives. We have residual spatial energy, which is energy other people have left in spaces that we end up catching. And we have low-level spirits and entities, which are like beingless, low-level entities that just linger around. They're manifestations of people's fears. They linger around, latch themselves on our energy field, siphoning away our energy, making us feel drained. So there are, of course, positive types of energy attachments. But in the book, I focus, of course, on the negative ones because these are the ones that have to be cleared. And the more we have, the more chances of them expressing in what I call energy attack, also known as psychic attack. It's essentially like symptoms of having too much foreign toxic energy within you. Certain symptoms include like chest pain or just feeling drained and exhausted all the time, or feeling like spacelessness, feeling like you're followed, like long-term chronic low-level energy and feelings and sensations.
I feel like I got psychic attack from everything you're describing. So with the 7-step program, you'd be able to clear those different energy attachments pretty easily.
Absolutely. So in the book, I detail a system of a 7-step system process of clearing it all. Now, part 1 of the book is all about the energy protection basics. I detail a few of those steps. And then it's clearing part 2, shielding part 3, and then online energy protection in part 4. Now, as I said, the main 3 steps of energy protection are identifying, essentially psychically scanning your energy to identify what's there. And by the way, everyone can go to protectyourlightbook.com. And when you get the book, you also get a free online workshop with me where I guide you to turn on your psychic vision so you can scan your energy to identify all these energy attachments. And then step 2 is clearing. So using different practices, and particularly I focus on earth-based practices because I believe that the earth is the OG energy protector. She's here for the past 4.5 billion years. We've been here for a few 100,000 years, like a blink of an eye in the earth's timeline. So when we draw from the earth's protective and cleansing qualities, we can use earth-based practices to cleanse our energetic field as well as connect with the earth's beings, the elementals. I know you work with plants a lot, like with plant spirits, so you can work with plant spirits to clear our energy. And the step number 3 has to do with shielding our energy. And they have to be followed in that order. Many people shield and not clear first. When you do that, you're just shielding in all the bad stuff. So you first have to clear them, create a blank energetic canvas, and then strengthen your energy with additional energetic shields. And of course, we go beyond just the white light, and I detail many different shielding practices, as well as how to layer different shields for different circumstances.
Wow. So what's like an easy way people can protect their energy?
Perfect. So I'm going to teach an easy clearing tool and an easy shielding tool that anyone can use right now. So a wonderful cleansing tool that anyone can use every single day is when you go shower, you can do so in a mindful way. What I like to do, I like to call upon my unicorn spirit guide. Now, for those of you who are not as woo-woo, you can just visualize life force energy or rainbow light flowing through the water of your shower. I like to visualize my unicorn spirit guide. Unicorns are spiritual extensions of our soul, holding the frequency of our potential and who we really are. And ask my unicorn guide to touch the water with its horn, the alicorn, and fill it up with a rainbow ray, which is a high vibrational frequency of light that has the ability to cleanse and raise our vibration. So while you're showering, you're visualizing the water showering away all of the stuff within our energy field as well, not just our physical body. Very simple way to cleanse that also has to do with working with nature. I mean, you can go out and go to a waterfall, the beach, or a lake or a river, even better.
My gosh.
And then an easy way, right?
Yeah.
And then an easy way to shield. I like to always start with a basic amplifying shield that raises a vibrational frequency. An amplifying shield you can use, again, if you want to use something nature-based, is a forest shield. We can shield with different elements. A forest shield has to do with surrounding yourself with the energy of the forest. And you can do so by visualizing yourself in a forest and then visualizing that energy of the forest just becoming part of your own energetic field. That's actually a transmuting shield because the energy of the forest has the ability to transmute whatever energy comes towards you, just gets dissolves into the energy of this forest, gets transmuted into love and light, and then you receive it as such.
I love it. My walks and my showers are about to get amazing. I really appreciate that.
Right?
Yeah.
It's so easy. When you go out, you can do it.
Yeah. It's like a part of everyday life. You don't even have to step out of your daily routine to implement these very important practices. And I love the rainbow, the unicorn spirit. Can you tell me about that? I'm just like, what? Why did I know about this? Tell me.
So I call this process the unicorn shower. So a unicorn spirit guides. Now, the way I do spirituality is by combining both like history, mythology, science, and also like the woo-woo stuff. Yeah. So when it comes to unicorns, I went all the way back. My first degree was in geography. So like I studied like maps, and I found antique middle-aged maps where unicorns were first portrayed. Actually, we go all the way back to the ancient Greeks. But essentially, what happens, and actually the first unicorns were seen in Iran. So essentially what happened. Yeah, so let me tell you the story quickly. So basically the first time someone mentioned the word unicorn was, I think it was Plato, probably in ancient Greece. And he mentioned like a strong animal with a huge horn. So from then on, humanity went on a quest to discover unicorns. Suddenly, unicorns ended up in the Bible because of a mistranslation of the Jewish word reem into unicorn from the Jewish version of the Bible to the Greek version of the Bible. So a unicorn image ended up in the Bible, which gave it even more gravitas, and therefore the world was searching to find the unicorn in Africa, in Iran, like all around the world. Eventually, at the end of the beginning of Enlightenment, when the world was finally fully discovered and they wouldn't find the unicorn, they just let go of the scientific quest to find it. But humans kept getting obsessed with believing in the unicorn's existence. Now, the reason that myth went on for so long is because they saw 3 different types of animals. I don't remember them right now, one was spotted somewhere in Iran. And because they saw them at different times of the day from far away, they merged them, they amalgamated them into a single animal that they called the unicorn. But I think the one was a Kiang, for example. There was an animal that had some kind of a horn, a different animal that had a different type of property, and they merged them together and they created this fantastical animal called the unicorn. But even though they believe the existence of unicorns was disproven scientifically, people have still believed in them and they still do so. Why? Because what is the symbolism of the unicorn? Unicorns were considered to be pure of heart, only caught by a virgin maiden, and they were strong and powerful and fierce, but at the same time gentle. So they portrayed both divine masculine energy and also divine feminine energy, which is the true essence of who we are. It's a true essence of our soul. So the unicorn we've been trying to capture for so many thousand years has already been within us, and it was never lost in the first place. It was the unicorn of our soul. We are the freaking unicorn.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna cry. I love it so much.
So we created all this myth because we've been trying to find union between our masculine and feminine energy, because we live in a patriarchal world that's preventing us from doing so. This is what I talk about in my second book, Lightworkers Gotta Work. It's all about unicorns.
Are you serious? I need this book too. Oh my God.
So essentially, the unicorn spirit guide is our soul manifesting in the form of a unicorn so that we can have a more palpable representation of our soul, so we can work with it to follow our purpose and live our highest potential.
That's so beautiful. Thank you for bringing that into our sphere. Thank you. What amazing work. And I'm so excited because I've always felt like in the deepest parts of my heart, like I've always been so attracted to unicorns, but I always felt like it was somehow a representation of like humans, and that magical aspect of us in a way.
Exactly.
So that's so exciting. I was crying while you're telling me.
I cried the first time I found out as well. I was in a cartography lesson at university learning about maps, and suddenly I see the Mappa Mundi, which is a world map in the Middle Ages, and I can see unicorn portrayed there. And as soon as I saw that, I felt a connection, and I'm like, I gotta find out more. And that's how it started.
Wow. Thanks for doing that work. That's amazing. What a contribution. I bet like a whole bunch of people who are listening right now are like, yeah, oh my gosh.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. So I want to go back to the protecting energy talk too, because it's so valuable and it just needs to get out there. One thing that we use all the time, every day, are addicted to, it's taking over our lives, is social media, of course, So what is one way to protect ourselves on social media when there's so much scrutiny? Like, myself included, I get scared to post sometimes because I'm like, oh my gosh, because you're out there, you're seen, and once you put it out there, it's there. It does not go away. So how can we protect ourselves in that space?
So what people need to understand about the digital landscape is that it's a reflection of the physical landscape. Mm-hmm. Think of all the social media sites we use as countries, digital countries. So in the same way that in the physical world, we have private spaces, our houses, public spaces, the town square, semi-private spaces, whatever that may be in your own country, the digital world is the same. So for example, Instagram, you have the DMs, it's a private space. Mm-hmm. You have your feed, it's a semi-private space because you invite the people who you want to see. And then you have the Explore tab, which is a public space. So in the same way you protect your energy when you go out in the world, you want to protect your energy when you go out in the digital world as well. Because although your physical body may be at home or whatever it is, your emotional body, your mental body, your astral body, all the different layers of your being are hanging out online and globetrotting all around the world as if like you're a rock star going on tour within an hour, going from Instagram to Facebook to TikTok and back and forth. So this is a initial understanding we need to have the right perspective. Also, the same kind of energy attachments we encounter in the physical world, we encounter in the digital world as well. Psychologists talk about the emotional contagion, which is a term they coined to talk about someone sharing something online in one part of the world and another person in the opposite side of the world reading that and feeling the same emotion they're feeling. So this emotion is contagious online, and we have psychic emotional energy from the digital world spewing out into the physical world and affecting us. So we can receive energy attachments from the digital landscapes as well. The way I guide people to protect their energy online is through both tactical steps and energetic steps. I'm all about the tactical work as well. Basic process I want to teach here when it comes to the tactical aspect is, yes, there is so much negativity, like when you go on Facebook, on Instagram, etc. But you need to remember that you are the mayor of your own digital cities. You can choose. You can go into the algorithm, into your real privacy settings, and set up what you want to see more, what you want to see less of. You can mute people. You can unfollow. You can block. So there are many practices, tactical steps we can take to take control of what we're exposed to, and also who's exposed to what we put out there. Mm-hmm. And also an energetic tool people can use is essentially grounding and centering yourself before you go into social media. Because when you are uncentered and ungrounded, then the different layers of your being are not all within you in the present moment. Your physical body may be here, but your emotional body may be somewhere else. Your energy, your mental body may be somewhere else. So by centering yourself and by grounding yourself, you send the message out to the universe that I'm in control of my energy, centering, and I'm connected to the earth, who is the OG energy protector, and therefore I'm leveraging the earth's protective abilities. And therefore, when I hang out online, I'm in control of my energy.
I love it. I love it. I can't wait to use that next time. I've been so scared of going on social media sometimes just because of that. And I ended up just clearing everything on my page, just not muting everything so I don't see anything. But then that keeps the connection from happening too. So, it was on all the way on the right side and then left side or whatever side, So this is a really great practice. It makes sense to just ground yourself before you go into a space. So I have another.
You're directed. Yeah.
Yeah. You're the mayor of the city. I like the way you said that too. So what if, I don't know, I go to the grocery store or I'm driving or something and somebody does attack my energy when I haven't put on a shield or put on that outfit to go outside. What do you have a quick regiment for healing that in the moment? Not healing that, but just protecting in the moment.
Yes. So there are many practices that I talk about in the book about protecting your energy in the moment. Let's say you find yourself in an argument.
Yeah.
What shield are you going to use? The traditional one would be okay, do white light. Well, no. White light is not ideal for that one. When you have intense energy directed towards you, you need something stronger than white light. Yeah. You need a mirror shield. A mirror shield has to do with visualizing a mirror in between you and the other person to reflect back to them what they're sending out to you. Some people are like, oh, but you're attacking attack with attack. I'm like, no you're not. You're showing them what they're already feeling. So you're giving them a taste of their own medicine. And at the same time, you're protecting yourself from all of that. So that's a quick shield we can use in the moment when we feel attacked. And if you feel you're attacked by multiple people everywhere, a mirror globe all around you facing outwards.
I love it. That is, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. Because when people are projecting their feelings onto you, it is just a mirror of what they feel inside anyway. That's amazing. Exactly. I love it. Thank you. You've just given us so many practical tips and so much information. And I know so much more about unicorns now. I can't even,
I'm so glad.
Getting to know you from being on your show and also having you here, it's been so magical. You're such a beautiful light and I can feel it through the screen. I'm sure people have told you that.
Are you sure it's not the makeup?
No, I think it's just your light.
I have highlighter. I'm kidding.
Well, that just makes you more beautiful. But but the energy and just like I can feel how, you are in your own space at all times. So it's a powerful way of being, and I really thank you for it, and thank you for giving these tools to all of us to be
You're
able
gonna
to
make me
use.
cry right now because this means a lot to me because I came from the exact opposite. From not being in control of my energy, from depending on what other people thought about me, from constantly putting myself down and thinking I'm less than. So to hear this reflected back to me, I am so grateful. So thank you.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you so much for being on our show. Did you want to leave the listeners with any last thoughts?
Last thoughts. Remember to every single day set the intention of being in control of your energy, because what's important to remember when it comes to energy protection is that the tools are not powerful. You are powerful. You are the one who holds the energy to protect yourself, and all the other tools are helping you express who you really are and what you already know and the power that is within you. So but you can claim your protective power by setting your intention. Intention is where it's at when it comes to any kind of energy work. And if you want to learn more about it and get the book, you can go to protectyourlightbook.com to get all the details and get your free psychic scanning workshop as well. And of course, we can hang out on Instagram as well. I'm there at George Lizos.
Yay! Wonderful, George. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Rohini.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. We truly hope you enjoy listening as much as we loved creating it for you. To follow George, please go to www.georgelizos.com. It'll be linked below. And you can follow George on Instagram at George Lizos. And please remember to comment, like, and share this episode so more magic people can find it. Until next time, friends.